What's up, y'all? This is your boy Zay again. It's been a minute since I came to y'all like this as far as face-to-face and on video. Decided to do it today because, again, God laid some things on my heart and I felt that it was shareable or that somebody would need to see this. Last time I came to y'all, of course, I was dealing with storms and being able to push through the storms and everything. And it's crazy because the week right after that, I went through yet another one, only this time it was dealing with faith. Because again, last time I was teaching about going through the storm or getting through it or thinking God to get through the storm, but the number one element that you need is faith to get you through it. I was reading Matthew 8, verses 5 through 13, and it hit home with me so bad, and this is why. I mean, because Jesus, he was coming off a mountain. He had just got done teaching and preaching to multitudes of people, including his disciples, up on a mountain. While he's coming down from the mountain, he's approached by a centurion, and he asks him, he tells Jesus that he has a servant who is sick and he needs him to heal him. And at first Jesus says, okay, go back home, I will come to him and I will heal him. But the centurion, he beseeched Jesus even more and said, look, I got people that work under me, I got servants, I got commanders who work under me. I am a great man. But he says, I know that you can speak a word from here and my servant will be healed. And it says, now I'm paraphrasing here, but it says that Jesus, he was taken aback, or he was marveled is what the word that it actually uses. In other words, that he was moved by this gentleman's faith. And right then and there, Jesus spoke a word and his servant was healed. And you know, they were all right there in that same vicinity while the servant was back home sick. So that hit home with me so hard because just a few weeks ago, I posted a Facebook status saying that I was at a place to where I knew God was speaking to me to do something else, but he was speaking to me as far as my job, but I was so complacent, or I was in a situation to where I felt like I needed this because I got a son, I got a family now, I got bills now. I mean, many different things that I was feeling that I needed this job for, what have you. And a lot of times that's going on in today's world as far as us as believers, as far as us who's trying to better ourselves, that we have little or if any faith at all. We have faith in men, we have faith in women, we got faith in our jobs, we got faith in different things that we feel that is a necessity until we forget about the one who provided us with everything anyway. So as I'm reading this, it's really hitting home with me because it was three things that I picked up that in order to make sure our faith is well enough in God that we got to do. The first thing that the centurion did that stuck out to me was what he thought his faith matched it. He thought that, well, he knew that Jesus could heal this man just based off what the miracles that Jesus had worked before, prior to. He knew that all Jesus had to do was speak a word and it was going to be done right then and there. So the first thing that sounded off to me was our faith has to match our thoughts. If you look in Hebrews, I forget the exact chapter and verse, but if you were to take a look in Hebrews and research it, you will see where it says faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. Now, that is a tremendous verse in itself, because what that's basically telling me, just as you see in Matthew, is faith is the substance or the confirmation of things that you hope for. Example, things that you think, things that you have seen in a vision, things that you have dreamed of, or things that you know for a fact that God has told you, but it hasn't came to pass yet. So it's the evidence, it's the substance of what you have seen or what you hope for, but it's the evidence of things not seen. In other words, faith is believing that God can give you whatever that you have seen or whatever that you have hoped for, and it's a confirmation that he can give you 10 times better than that as well. So not only can he provide enough to give you what you need, but he can provide enough to give you what you want. All we have to do is believe and trust in him and have faith in him. So first thing is your faith has to match your thoughts. Second thing he did was he beseeched God. He was a centurion. Now, anybody that knows me knows I like to research things. And a centurion, I found out, was back in the Roman days. He was a great commander of the Roman army. You know, he trained guys for combat. He trained guys for battle. He was over things, just as he said in the verses. Look, I got servants under me. I got people who fight under me. But yet he had to dumb himself down when he came to Jesus. Now, how true is that for today's world? Sometimes we get so caught up in ourselves of what we think that we've done down here to where we think that we don't need anybody else, let alone need Jesus. And that's a dangerous place to be, because sometimes we forget that Jesus and God, there is the reason that we have what we have in the first place. So when you get so bold enough to where you act as if you don't need God, that is a dangerous spot to be. And that's what I liked what he did. He had to dumb himself down to come to Jesus and say, hey, I know that you can do this. All you have to do is speak a word. And sometimes that's what we have to do. We have to get back to reality. We got to dumb ourselves down and tell God that, Lord, I know what you showed me. I know that is going to come to pass, but I need you to speak a word, and I need some things to materialize right now. Until we get that kind of faith, I don't know why we have taken on this religious complex, and I hate religion. It's not about being religious, because as a matter of fact, Jesus came back in the New Testament to stop all these religious orders that was going on in the world when he came back. I don't know why we have accepted the religious part to where we have accepted being broke. We have accepted being sick. We have accepted being anywhere that we're not supposed to be. And then in the same breath, we say that we got faith. Obviously not, because in Matthew, the same book that I'm in, Jesus tells his disciples that if you seek me first, everything else will be added unto you. It does tell us not to worry about clothes, not to worry about money, etc. But if we seek him first, seek his kingdom first, then everything else will be added unto us. So if we are seeking God's kingdom on a daily basis, everything that we want will be added unto us. Wealth, health, finances, whatever you want it to be, it shall come to pass. Now, what we don't seem to realize is that sometimes God can answer your prayer right then and there when you answer it. However, it may not come to pass until a few months, a few years, a few days, or whatever later. But you have to have faith, and if you seek God, you will see what everything that you ask for is coming to pass anyway. So you got two things so far. First, your faith has to match your thoughts. You got to dumb yourself down and ask and believe whatever it is that you want, that it's going to come to pass. The third thing is simple. You just got to believe. It's amazing to me how we can ask God for something, or we can pray to God for something, but then we get so dependent as soon as we pray on what another man or what a job or what another woman can do for us. True faith is putting and casting all of your cares upon God, not man, not yourself, not each other, solely and 100% on God. Sometimes in this life, I have to admit, I'm not perfect. And what I'm saying is this is coming straight from God, because I've been struggling with it myself for the past few weeks. But don't put your faith in a job. Don't put your faith in a man. Don't put your faith in something that you feel like you need, because it will let you down every time. And in essence, it's going to delay your blessing, because what God told me is, so what are you going to do? You're going to put your faith in a job, something that I blessed you with, until the point that you don't have any faith to know that I will bless you with something even greater. See, I'm telling y'all, this is a critical time in this world, as far as believers, as far as people who's trying to do better and keeping God first, because it all is grounded and rooted in faith. So that's three things. Your faith has to match your thoughts. You got to dumb yourself down when you're talking to God. And simply, you got to believe. With these three factors, I'm telling you that things that you are praying for, things that you are hoping for, will not only come to pass for you, but your faith can get your whole family, your whole financial situation, your whole wealth and health situation out of crisis. Because who you going to depend on? Just like I said in my last video, what are you going to do? You going to ask God to stop the storm, or you're going to celebrate him after you get through the storm. But in order to get through the storm, you got to have faith that at the end of the storm, you got a blessing waiting on you, or you got your sunshine waiting on you. It's more than just depending on other people. Don't get me wrong. I believe God places certain people in your life to help you get to where you need to be. But it's not a situation to where you have to be solely dependent on something or someone. Only person that we should be 100% dependent on is God. That's it. I don't mean to be before y'all long. I just take these things that I've gone through in my everyday life to help somebody out, because you never know who needs it. Praying much for y'all. I love y'all. Y'all do the same for me. Keep y'all in my prayers. You keep me in yours. Have a blessed one.